check this out. If you're doing work for a client, you're gonna have clients that don't care how much money that you are making on the job, and you're gonna have clients that do. And look, I remember early stages on when I do a landscape job. Like, look, everybody price stuff differently, right? Let's say somebody call you to install 10 plants. Let's say somebody call you to install 10 plants, right? And those plants may be $4 a piece, which is $40, right? Now, you may be like, all right, plants $40, and I got the topsoil, the bed, topsoil, that's gonna be about $100. So you be like, okay, the topsoil $100, the plants $40, so $140. You may be like, man, yeah, the retopsoil these beds, and look, and then the mulch may be another $100. So you might be out about $250, right? And you might tell the client, yeah, man, you'll be at $600 to retopsoil the beds, drop the plants, and install the mulch. $600. The job is gonna cost you $250. So you thinking, all right, I'll put $350 in my pocket. You have some clients, okay, I'm fine with it. And you have some clients, how much is the plants? And see, that right there, look, I remember early on in my business, somebody asked me that, my heart started. I'd be like, yeah, man, you'll be at $600. That do that. Look, you'll be doing this. Yeah, you'll be at $600. Well, how much is the plants? The plants like, $50. $50. Well, how much is the topsoil? Topsoil, $100. All right, $50 for the plants, $100 for the topsoil. How much is the mulch? Another $100. So hold on, man. How do we go from $250 to $600, Gibson? What's going on? My time. Listen. It's $600 to retopsoil your beds, plant your plants, and install your mulch. Well, how much is the material? Man, material around like $300. Well, man, so you putting $300 in your pocket? Well, no, I'm not putting $300 in my pocket. Well, let's break it. I can break it down for you, Mr. Bill, if you want. The material on this job is going to run you around $300. Now, how are we going to get the dirt and the topsoil to your job? We're going to need a trailer, right? Because we're not throwing all this on the back of the truck. So I'm going to have to pull my dump trailer out to go get your topsoil, because we don't want to mix the topsoil and the mulch. So we're going to go get your topsoil. We're going to come back and we're going to use wheelbarrows, and we're going to spread your topsoil. Then we're going to load back up. Then we're going to go get your plants and your mulch. Then we're going to use our money to buy your plants, and we're going to install your plants. And then we're going to use our money to buy the mulch. And then we're going to come back and install all the mulch. See, we take all of the risk up front, Mr. Bill, and you pay at the end. See, right now I'm not charging you. I'm not charging for me and you to have this conversation. I'm not charging you to run around and get materials. All the thing, this is what you said you want done, and this is the price for me to get it done. Now, when anybody do things on their own, they'll save money. For instance, Mr. Bill, if you was to build this house right here you're living in, and you do all of the work yourself, you would save more than half. Let's say, Mr. Bill, you bought this house for $400,000. This house was built from the ground up for like $200,000, and somebody walked away with $200,000 in their pocket. This is the same thing on a smaller scale. If you do this entire job, you save the money. If I do this entire job, this is what I want to do it. Don't be worried about, well, man, how much this costs? Give a flip. I tell them, how much this costs? Man, this is what it costs. Flip. Well, man, why are you charging me triple? I gave you an estimate of what I charge to get it done. You can go to this guy, he cut your hair in the hood for $10. Or you can go over here where you're safe at for $40. It just depends on what you want to get done. And I don't worry about that. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm in business. I used to think, oh man, I gotta hide how much this. Look, I remember early on in my business, a guy wanted me to come fertilize his yard. Listen, look, he wanted weed and feed. I went into Lowe's, bought a bag of weed and feed, and then look, this is what I did. I went to Walmart and bought a bin. There were 2 bags of weed and feed. I cut the weed and feed, poured it in the bin, went to his house, and opened my bin and started filling up my spreader. I said, yeah, I don't want him to know where I got it from. This is like my 2nd year in business. I remember one time, I had went to Lowe's, bought the fertilizer, and I was by the trailer cutting the bag, filling it in my bin, right? He came out of the house, I ran across the, hey man, how you doing? Hey, Gibson, y'all's looking good. He didn't care. He didn't care that this was when fertilizer was like $30 a bag. He didn't care that I went to Lowe's, bought 2 $30 bags of fertilizer for $60 and charged them $160 to install it. I put $100 in my pocket to go buy his, and look, it was business. I wasn't ripping them off. I took time out my day to drive 15 minutes to Lowe's, use my money, buy the fertilizer. I had to use my spreader, and then I walked his entire yard spreading the fertilizer. He understood Gibson is business. I didn't understand that, and that's what you guys have to understand.